it's so great to talk to you about the film, because I would say, I enjoyed it very much. It's so intense, that engagement between the characters. First of all, the fans wanted to know, does it make sense to you guys as characters that there would be a Team Iron Man and a Team Captain America?
Definitely. It's basically, when they first started writing this movie, they were like, how can we make a very attractive team, and how can we make an old, sleepy team? And so they separated us in that accord.
And they put you on the happy,
the
hip
happy,
team.
attractive team. Shukra.
Tikra. But it gets very complicated in this one because, everybody thinks that superheroes are about, the big deal. But it's very personal. It's about friendships and allegiances, right?
Right, yes. And a lot of people suffer because of that, because their own sort of personal views and their past get in the way of them making decisions for the greater family, so to speak, the Avengers family.
Yeah.
And it gets torn apart.
It looks very physical to me. Was it physical training at the level that I expect?
It was. It was a lot of, this time it was interesting. The Russos wanted to do less CGI, less green screen. So they used our stuntmen a lot more. But we still got to do some of our stunts, and they just mixed it in.
Yeah. And for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think the great thing that we were able to have in this film is we had the stunt team from the Winter Soldier team, and they're really great. They choreographed all the fight sequences, and it's a good team to have kind of coming back every 2 years.
We have great stuntmen, and to show they're great, you can never see when it's the stuntman or when it's us. They're really amazing at what they do. They make us look really good.
Well, it's also because it's always you, and you're being modest.
Oh, look at you.
Freeze the frame, you'll know.
Yeah. So Bucky is as lost as ever, we can say that. He never knows who he is.
Still crying. He's still in the closet somewhere crying.
Meaning of life. What do you want?
But I think his backstory is quite interesting. How much do
Nice
you get
backstory.
interested in that?
Oh, backstory.
Yes.
Say that again. How much interest?
How much are you interested in his backstory?
No,
because,
it's a great
those characters have been around for so long.
It has. I mean, I owe everything to Ed Brubaker, right? He's the guy who brought back Bucky Barnes in the I think 80s, 90s, and
Late 80s.
he was obsessed with the Cold War and the whole espionage thing. So that background is fascinating to me, and I can only hope that one day they can explore it further.
Absolutely, and the audiences might ask for it.
Yes.
His own spin-off, and yours too, as Falcon, who doesn't like to be described as a bird.
No, at all. Not my thing. Not my thing.
And how about his backstory, and how much do you dive into A, what the fans love about these characters, and B, their circumstances, where they come from, how the superpowers came about?
The Falcon's backstory is really interesting, and what I love about the Marvel Cinematic Universe is they really use the comic books as a blueprint. They don't go story for storyline with the comic books. They use an idea and then write a movie with that idea as the base. So the Falcon's backstory in the comic book is very different than his backstory in the movie. So I had to create a lot of it myself. He started in the 60s in Harlem as a wayward
Suave.
man. Yeah, very suave. But it was the black exploitation period in film, and he pretty much started off as like a black exploitation character, moved to California, and then became the Falcon. So this one is very different than the comic books.
Well, talk about comic books. We had a Comic-Con in Dubai a few weeks ago, and it's incredible to see
Who
how
did we
many.
talk to about that?
Yeah,
Comic-Con
yeah.
in
We have to
Dubai?
invite you. Yeah, it's like the
Please.
4th year, and everybody comes in dressed as
Is there a
you guys as
Comic-Con
characters.
in Lebanon?
Fourth year, you said.
Yes, it's the 4th year,
Wow.
and it's really huge, and it's incredible for me to see all the fans dress up as those characters.
Okay,
Do
so
you
next
get?
year,
Yeah,
mental
next
note
year.
yourself,
Next year
Comic-Con
we're
in
taking
Dubai.
you to Dubai and Beirut. But then you get a Chris Evans and a Captain America costume, and then do you play jokes on? I mean, it's so fun to see him in that costume, but
It's always
yeah.
funny. Yeah.
I would say the only jokes we play is the costume he had in the first Avengers, because that looked like a nice Halloween pajama costume that they just tossed him his way. But his shield costume is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And objectively, who has the best costume? Which costume looks the best when you're on set?
I mean,
Well, I think it's interesting because most characters don't have full costumes, like, Iron Man and Rhodey, and they don't have full costumes. Black Widow has a great costume.
She does.
Yeah.
So you want to keep looking.
Yeah,
It's uncanny, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you guys watch the film afterwards? How much do you enjoy watching the whole experience as audience members?
It's nice to see it at the premiere with our, like family and friends, and like everybody there, hearing them, people cheer. That's kind of the best part.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Screen.
I mean, I watched The Winter Soldier yesterday on my flight, and it's just fun to see the movie. It's because we watch it and you remember what you were doing on set on that day. It's a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And at those premieres, you have like those very, very young fans dressed as, the Captain Americas and the characters, etc. Do you interact with them much? And what kind of things do they say?
We try and sign as much as we can and take pictures with them. And I mean, we're all obviously very aware that sometimes they wait there for 8-9 hours, and so just like to have that interaction is always gratifying.
Finally, as this is our Captain America Civil War special, what can we tell the fans to get them so overexcited about going to see it? What is it about for you?
If you liked the Marvel movies before, you'll walk out of this movie loving the Marvel characters. I think this movie is very based on starting the next phase of the Marvel movies. You see new characters, the old characters, you get to see them in a light that you've never seen them before. It's very emotional, it's very timely. This is, all about the fans being reintroduced to the history of the characters and falling in love with them all over again.
Now you have to top that.
Oh.
I'm just gonna say it's between the great action sequences. I mean, one particularly that has never been in any superhero movie before of that caliber, and then they'll get to laugh, they'll get to sort of feel sorry for some people, and then they'll get to sit on the edge of their seats. So between that, I don't know what else you'd want at a movie,